Honda's just given us a glimpse of their first fully battery electric vehicle here for the United States, built in conjunction with General Motors. You can check out the Gonda merch down below and at kkcarshop.com. Anyways, let's go over the all-new Honda Prologue sketch that we have, as well as some big Honda press release news about electrification after we go over the image. All right, so here we are with the Prologue, and notice how they have it in nature, right? Electric cars are supposed to be better for the environment. Batteries don't come out of thin air though, guys. All right, so in the environment, yes, clean air, trees are happy, leaves are flying by, and we have fog lights. We have a very slim sort of grille style. It kind of reminds me, if you look at the Accord kind of has this visor up top, but also goes down into the grille, but it looks like kind of that grille is taken away. And instead, we have a smaller grille at the very bottom. That's going to help cool down this battery pack. We have large wheels on this concept. There's the charging door, black mirrors, and it's really hard to get the proportions. We know it's going to be a two-row crossover. It's probably going to have a panoramic roof. It's hard to tell from this image and sketch. And yeah, it looks like any other crossover, to be honest. It's a very handsome looking SUV. I'd say it's maybe going on a limb and say it's quite a bit more handsome than the new HRV, the one that's designed for North America anyways. So anyways, I think that's all I really need to say about the Prologue. It will be coming out in 2024. Oh, and Honda has this new idea for their dealers real quick before we jump to the press release. So this is like the ideal dealer. Say that 10 times fast. Ideal dealer model going forward for the Honda brand. So they'll probably be requiring dealerships to really up their electrification. Is that the Vezel? Is this the HRV that we don't get in America? That's pretty cruel. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of this, go to the press release. Prologue to be followed by first models based on Honda's e-architecture in 2026. Okay, so Prologue, again, the Ultium platform with General Motors will be built in Mexico, I believe, coming out 2024. And then Honda's own e-architecture, their own platform, which will be here in the United States of America, as well as Japan. I'm sure they'll build some models there. I don't know if those will come here stateside, because Honda and Acura at this point are designed, tested in Japan, and then they're built here in North America. Same thing for the new Integra and all Acuras for that model. But anyways, that's pretty exciting. We're not that far away, 4 years away from the Honda's full e-architecture, and they're working with dealers to prep EV and digital sales future. They're calling the Prologue adventure ready. Well, we saw it running through nature, but that was a pretty flat field there. It wasn't really shown off-roading too hardcore. They're saying it's going to be outfitted with capable tires, so don't be surprised if we see a Prologue Trail Sport. That'd be kind of cool. Prologue Trail Sport. I mean, we already know EVs have their limitations when it comes to off-roading, not their torque distribution or torque vector or anything like that. No, they're really good at that, but it's the range, right? And you have really long wheelbases typically. So longer wheelbases don't really benefit some real hard off-roading, but most people are never going to be doing that in their EV anyways. Honda wants to produce 30 new EVs globally by 2030 with a volume of 2 million units. That is still hard for me to wrap my head around. Toyota said 3.5 million units by 2030, and that's per year. It's just really hard for me to accept that that's going to happen. I'm not skeptical of EV vehicles. I'm skeptical of our global situation, and I'm skeptical that our infrastructure is going to be in place to support this many vehicles. I'm also skeptical on the affordability of battery packs unless we switch away from what we have right now. We need like sodium ion or something that's going to be a lot cheaper and easier to obtain than what we have with nickel and cobalt and even lithium in our batteries. Okay, so 2024, Honda Prologue comes out on the Ultium platform made with General Motors, hashtag Gondam. In 26, they begin production of sales of Honda models based on their new Honda e-architecture. We still really don't know how their joint venture with Sony is going to shake out. That's a big mystery. But in 2027, they'll begin production and sales of new series of affordable EVs based on new architecture co-developed with General Motors. And I think this is going to be a good thing. It's going to help make vehicles cheaper. General Motors has arguably the best autonomous driving software out there with Super Cruise. So I'm not upset about this by any means. And I think it's going to be pretty exciting to see how this development goes on down by 2027. The thing I struggle with is that the Prologue is very much going to be a General Motors vehicle with different Honda styling, different Honda design, but it is going to be built on a General Motors assembly line. If you look at this vehicle or these vehicles coming out in 2027, that could be produced on a Honda assembly line. It's just hard to say. Co-development, though, is going to help bring down costs, even on this Prologue, but also in 2027. Okay, so in these 3 phases, Honda plans to sell nearly 500,000 EVs in North America by 2030. So going back a little bit, 2 million EVs is going to be global. So Honda's probably biggest market is China. That seems to be most people's biggest market. Obviously not Acura because they pulled out. Just like last month, Acura pulled out of China. So the vast majority of their EVs, 75% of their EVs in 2030 are not coming to America. They're actually going to Europe and China. And they have a much smaller footprint in Europe, but I bet Europe gets at least 500,000 EVs in 2030 from Honda. I wouldn't be surprised. And then at least 1 million go to China in 2030. But I mean, that's where the materials are coming from anyway, so it's not hard to produce them there. So what's with the new vision of the dealers? Well, a new dealership facility design provides dealers with a modular and flexible space reflecting changes in the way customers shop for and purchase vehicles, as well as a lower inventory. Dealers will need to support sales in the future. And that's one of the big reasons the dealers have been so profitable. They don't have this huge inventory sitting on their lot that is costing them money every single day per car to sit there. So, and they have no problem selling their vehicles. If we go back to these images, yeah, look how, and they're not even showing like the lots. Like this is probably the service side. Yeah. So they're not even showing a whole lot of inventory here. I guess they are on this side. And you can see some plug-in stations over here. And again, they're trolling us with that bezel design. We're not getting that beautiful HRV. We're getting a slightly less handsome HRV, but I will be driving it next month. So stay tuned. I will be driving it. If it is charming, I could get over its interesting front end. And maybe when I see it in person, it'll look better. But anyways, yeah, this is really, to me, they're really going to be leaning their inventories across the industry. It's not just Honda, and it's more profitable for all those involved besides the customer. And these models up front, guys, these aren't even for the customer to go and drive, I don't think. These are just showroom floor models, essentially, that are just parked there. And I don't see them being outside because they're going to get dirty and gross. And that's just not realistic. But let's get back to the press release because they might have more to say about it. The number and type of EV charging stations dealers will be required to install based on their expected EV sales volume through 2030. So yeah, if you're in California, it's going to be a completely different dealer expectation than you are in, let's say, Alabama or New Jersey. Well, I don't know. Is New Jersey up there with EVs? Maybe. Okay. Montana. Guidelines regarding the types of special tools and equipment dealers will need to service Honda electric vehicles. Yeah, it's going to be expensive. If I'm a dealer and I'm looking at this is money, 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 money. And that's just the way it's going to be for electrification. It's going to be more expensive for everyone initially. 20 years from now, it's really hard to say, but I don't think oil is going anywhere anytime soon. Just gas prices just get worse and worse. But are you excited for the Honda Prologue that is built with General Motors and will be on a General Motors assembly line? Are you excited for the e-architecture for Honda coming out in 2026? Are you excited for the affordable vehicles built with General Motors in 2027? I'm looking forward to all of it, honestly. And General Motors builds some pretty good electric cars. The Lyric coming out, that's going to be a good indicator. They're all sold out at this point, mind you, which doesn't take long in today's day and age. That is going to be a really good precursor for the upcoming Acura electric SUV because it is going to be built on the same assembly line in Tennessee. But I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys down below on what you think about Honda and their electrification, especially their heavy workload with General Motors here in North America for their lineup. I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much. 500,000 EVs in North America from Honda by 2030. Do you think it's going to happen? Anyways, gotta cut myself off. Have a wonderful day. Take care of yourselves. And as always, peace out.